Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Urmisha and today in this video I'm going to show you how to calculate the average number of days to ship the customer order. Now this is the most important and a valid question for any business to run, that how long customer have to wait to get their orders on time. So this is really a very important question whenever you work on any e-commerce dataset or anything related to logistic or supply chain management. So let's figure this out using our Sample SuperStore dataset. For this, I'm going to use those two important date fields, that is order date and the ship date. So order date is the date on which the customer have placed the order, and the ship date is the date on which they have received the order. So here actually we are kind of finding the pattern based on which we are calculating the average number of days. So let's create that calculated field. For this, go to the analysis, click on create calculated field. To find those average number of days, or let's say to find the difference between those 2 days, we need to call one function called the date diff. So this is the date diff function that actually help you in finding the date difference. In this whole argument, you need to pass the date part. So what this date part is all about, how you want to find. Here we want the average number of days. So in the date part, I will mention day. If you want to find the average number of months, then pass month in this. If it's year, then year. So here our calculation is to find the average number of days. So we'll pass here a day, comma. There comes a start date. So start date means the date on which customer have placed the order. So here I'm going to pass the order date, okay, then comma, and then comes the end date. So end date is actually what we call it as the ship date, on which the date the customer have received their order. So that's how the ship date comes, comma, the start of the week. Here it is quite obvious to say that Sunday is the day. By default it's considered as per the logic in the Tableau that it starts with 0. Sunday considered as a 0, but here we will not mention all this. It's by default to say that, but here as they are in the square bracket, so this is an optional, so we ignore it. So our important point here is the date difference between a day, the order date, and the ship date. Now to find this, we need to call one more function called the sum function. Why so? Because whatever the number of days has been passed, after that you need to add +1. The reason is, let's say you have ordered today and on the same day the customer have received the order. So this you should calculate as 1 day at least. So you cannot say just a 0 on the same day for the same day, because the date difference will calculate based on as considered as a 0. So it can never be a 0. It should be considered as on that day itself as 1. So +1 is really important. Now as we want an average, here is the summation. We want the average for it. To calculate the average, we are going to consider based on the number of orders. So we will consider here the custom or the distinct orders. So count D, we'll call this count D as a function, and here we'll pass order ID. So based on the number of order IDs, distinct, which means not the same order ID, different order IDs, based on that we are going to calculate. So this is the logic, and we'll name this calculated field as the average number of days. Click on apply and OK. So here our average number of days is ready. Drag this and put it over on this row. Go to this more option and change it to discrete. So here you have your average number of days for any order within this data set, that it takes 4.423 number of days. So which means ideally at least 4 days plus 4 days, so within 4 to 5 days the customer will receive and the order. But if you want that specific for every individual order, you can drag the order ID and place it just next to in front, I would say in front of this number of average number of days. Click on OK. So you will find here for every order ID, so 193 have received that by 3 days, or 358 with the 4 days. So this comes as an individual level, but as this should not be used for the individual, we have calculated based on the average, which is the approximate, just a proportion based on that, the number of days. I hope you liked this video. If you really like, then do like, share and subscribe to my channel for more such videos. Till then, happy learning.